How's it going, guys? This is Bailey with Rogers Performance Marine. Today we're getting ready to deliver this brand new 2020 Lund 2075 Tyee Magnum. We're going to give the customer a full virtual walkthrough on the boat, show them how to use the boat with all the accessories put on it. In the meantime, I want to walk you through all the options that come on the Magnum, as well as the options that we included in it. So we're going to start on the outside of the boat, working our way back. You can see it's got a lot of nice exterior upgrades that really make the aesthetics of the boat pop. It's got the Lund chrome raised lettering. I really like it. Makes a nice boat like this stand out, look even better. If you look down here, this one's got the custom diamond plated trailer, so it gives you the diamond plated fenders, nicer wheels and tires. Comes with load guides and a spare tire. Moving further back, one of the most underrated options about this trailer, in my opinion, is the boat buckles on the rear. A lot of people forget about these and don't really notice them just because they're so easy to use. It acts just like a seatbelt in your car. You just take and press the release button right here when you get to the lake, pull up on the strap, and it gets down nice and out of the way, very easy to use. And then when you're ready to go home after a day of boating, you hook it back up on the transom eye. And then what you want to do here is there's another tab. You'll take and pull it forward, squeeze on this right here, get it nice and tight, go a little bit tighter than that. Now it's ready for transport. So again, just press the release button, gets it out of the way, and then press and pull when you're ready to lock it up. So we've got this boat equipped with both the Mercury 250 horsepower Pro XS, which in my opinion is the best motor on the market, and then it's got the brand new 15 horsepower kicker motor. This is an EFI, so both of these motors are electronically fuel injected and 4-stroke. So the reliability is going to be as good as you can get, no matter what altitude you're fishing at. Both of these motors should run at optimal performance. Few things to talk about on the 250 horsepower engine. We've got this one propped with a 19 pitch stainless steel 3-blade prop on there. RPM range should be about 6,200 RPM with full throttle, wide open, trimmed out. If you're not getting that RPM, we would step down to a 17, or if you feel like you're getting over rev and go over that RPM, we'd want to go up to a 21. For the altitude that this boat's getting shipped to, the 19 should be the perfect setup on that. Couple quick things to go over with service. The first service you want to have done at 20 hours. That's the initial break-in service. After that, you want to have this motor serviced once a year or every 100 hours, whatever comes first. Water impeller, you're going to want to change in the lower foot every other year, regardless of use. And then the spark plugs, you're going to want to have done every 200 hours, according to Mercury's owner's manual. Moving over to the 15, same service schedule here. You want to have the first service done at 20 hours, and then you want to have every service after that done at 50 or 100 hours or once a year, whatever comes first. Water impeller you want to have done every other year, regardless of use, and then again 200 hours on the spark plugs. Looking at a few other things on the back of the transom here. You got the transducer for one of the helix units on the console, and then on the port side of the transom you've got it's got 2 fish finders on the console. That's the other transducer there. Couple things to point out is you've got the intake for your live well, and then you've got the intake for your washdown station here on the back. So if they ever stop pumping in water or the live well isn't allowing water to come in, you can always check these for debris. If you do get debris in there, you can twist those off easily and clean them out. They come off very easy and go back on very easy. You see Lund puts their transom plug on a tether here. Reason they do that, it's illegal for you to transport with the boat plug in while you're driving down the road. They don't want you transporting any invasive species. So always have this out while you're traveling down the road. When you get to the lake, this needs to be the first thing you do. Press that in, twist this until it swells. Make sure it's nice and tight, not going to come out, and then you're ready to boat for the day. And then this last plug right here, that is a drain for your live well. So if you have no intentions of using live well, you can plug that in advance, but that is where the water is going to drain out there. One other thing I want to show you on the front of the trailer, working your way up, when you're backing this boat into the water, you want the front of the fenders to be about 3 inches below water. That seems to be, each launch ramp's going to be a little bit different, but that's a good rule of thumb to start to get it to pull off the trailer. Moving forward, last things I want to cover. Always check your hitch hardware. So you want to make sure that your pin is in for the swivel hitch, cotter pin's in. You do want to inspect these bolts that are on the port side from time to time. Just make sure they're always there and tight. Always do an inspection on that. And then the last thing that I want to show you is the trailer plug. So we will send this home with an adapter that will plug into a 7-way connector. Reason being is this 4th prong right here that's attached to this blue wire, that's for the electronic backup solenoid in the hitch itself. If you do not have this plugged in, they will not back up.
Okay, so you have to have the adapter plugged into the 7-way in your truck, and that's going to allow you to back up when you put the truck in reverse. The one exception to this, or the one thing to know anyways, is some of newer trucks today, when you plug it into the 7-way, because that's typically for electric brakes and this is still a surge brake system, they will tell you your brakes are not working, which is not the case. So the only way to know if your brakes aren't working is you'll feel them kind of slamming when you slow to a stop. If it tells you your trailer brakes aren't active, that's because it's thinking it's electronic brakes when this is actually surge brakes. Very last thing, if you don't have the adapter, or the adapter's failed, or the fuse is blown in your truck and you're needing to back up and it keeps locking up, you can take this key here, pop it in right there, and that will stop this pin from sliding back and keeping the brakes to lock up. Other than that, you're gonna just want to hook this trailer up like you would any other trailer onto the back of your truck. So now we're gonna hop up in the cockpit and go through other features. All right, guys, now I want to walk you through the bow of the boat, give you an overview of what we got on here for electronics, and then also give you guys that are looking at the Tyee an idea of what you're getting in the bow of the boat. So again, this is the Tyee Magnum, a little bit different from the standard Tyee. A couple things that I really like to point out quickly: bow cargo nets. I don't care what Lund you buy, if it's an option, you've got to have those. I know it sounds silly and it sounds like an option that not everybody even would consider. I absolutely love them. It's great for life jackets, towels, anything that you want to quickly put and quickly access. Great storage there. And then on each side, we've got port and starboard storage, nice deep storage compartments. You can see we've got, all this customer's rod holders. We've got his owner's manual packet in here. We've got bow rock guard in here, and then the full storage covers in this side as well. Very, very nice deep storage for all your gear. They're on gas shocks too, so it holds the storage compartment up by itself. And then one thing that really goes unnoticed, and it's another reason to buy a Lund, is look how they take and track their storage compartments here. This is going to keep water from puddling up inside the storage compartment. It's going to go into this track, drain out into the bilge. Go ahead and shut these storage compartments now. You can see you've got an additional spot for a seat pedestal there, and then in here is going to be the 3 batteries and the battery charger for the 36-volt Ultera we've got on the bow. They did a really good job at designing this bow to get the most storage capacity and usable space out of it. All right, so now going to the bow, what we've got right here is we've got a Minn Kota 36-volt Ultera, one of the best trolling motors on the market. A few things to go over really quick. This connector right here is your Ethernet cable running to the graphs on the console. This is for the foot pedal. This is not connected right now. This is going to be operating off the Mega Down imaging transducer in the foot of this trolling motor. So if you wanted to add a fish finder up front, simply get the transducer adapter cable, plug it in there, plug it into your fish finder, and now you can read bow to stern. Power port to plug in the trolling motor, is right here. And then this below this, this is your 3-bank battery charger for the trolling motor itself. So this boat has a total of 5 batteries, so you've actually got 2 battery chargers. You've got this one in the bow charging the 3 batteries for the trolling motor, and then you've got an additional battery charger, which we'll go over later, charging the 2 batteries in the rear. You've got the trolling motor turned on by pressing the power button here. You see the green light and it's ready to go and it's stowed away. We're going to do everything today from the handheld remote. So this is the home screen you're going to see on the Ultera. What you want to do, it shows you that the motor's stowed. You want to come down to Ultera, go ahead and click on the Ultera. Then you're going to want to deploy it. So if I go ahead and press deploy once, you'll notice nothing happens. That's a common problem a lot of people don't understand. You actually have to press the deploy button twice to get it to deploy. That way you can't accidentally bump deploy while it's in your pocket. So press it twice. Then I'm going to stop this early just so it doesn't hit the trailer while it's deploying. You just press the pause button. So right here we're still on the Ultera page. I can trim it up or down by pressing these 2 buttons. Okay. If I want to stow it again, I simply just press the stow, but we're not going to do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the main home screen. Very easy to operate. So to turn this right, press the right, left, go left. To turn the power up, right now we're on power 3. That is not speed, that's power levels. So you can go 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, so on and so forth. It goes from 0 to 10 in half power increments. The one thing to know is you see how there's just a blank circle in the middle. Even though the power level is at 5, that's telling you the prop is not spinning, but the power level is set to 5 when you engage the prop. So you need to press the prop button right here. That engages it. Now the prop's spinning at power level 5. When you're done using it, go ahead and turn it off. Okay, you do have a quick access to the spot lock button right here. So if you want to press spot lock, it'll keep you within 5 feet of where you press the button. We're not going to do that while we're inside. You should never do that while you're under any sort of covered area or in a garage, because it's not getting GPS signal in here, which can cause it to go haywire and kind of do as it pleases. running you through a quick version of how to use this trolling motor. I don't know if you can see this in the video, but we've got the autopilot button right here. So if you were to press that button in the top left corner, that's going to keep you trolling in a straight line. Cruise control is about, this is in the top right, that's about as simple as it sounds. That's to set a cruise control speed. You know, I troll here for lake trout at 1.7 to 2.2 miles an hour, so I can press the cruise control button, set what speed I want to troll at. Record is if you want to record a track. So, you know, if you want a track you can follow up by like a dam where you know there's a big bed of fish, you can record it. When you're done, press stop recording. All right, sorry about that. Our camera shut off for a second. So again, you can record tracks. So if you have passed, you want to continue to troll, you can record it. When you're done recording it, press stop recording. Then you can go into your iTrack, which is right here. Go to iTrack, find all your recorded track points, and then allow it to follow the course. Same with the spot lock. Every time you press the spot lock button, you can save that and then go to each area that you've pressed the spot lock button. Mark a waypoint is if you know, whether you want to mark it for a beach or a fishing hole or, you know, any reason that you want to mark a place on the GPS, you can mark a waypoint and then go to a waypoint. It'll save all your marked waypoints there. And then now we're going to go back to the Ulterra button. Go ahead and stow it. Again, this was a really brief rundown on how to use the Ulterra. The best way to understand how to use it is get out on the water and actually play around with it. We're going to send our customer with a little cheat sheet owner's manual on the Ulterra on how to use everything. But you really got to spend some water time out to fully understand this unit, but it is one of the best trolling motors on the market. Now we're going to step in the cockpit and go through the rest. All right, now I want to walk you through what we've got going on here at the captain's helm. So as you can see, we've got a Helix 10 unit as well as a Helix 7 mounted. This is the new Lund display for 2020 on all the Tyees. So I want to get the dash fired up. To do so, you want to go ahead and turn on your master power switch right here. You can see it's off now, so the only thing working when it's off is going to be the ignition for both the main motor and the kicker motor, as well as the trolling motor up in the bow. You can see right here, got nothing else, no interior lights, no horn. Go ahead and turn your master power switch on. Horn's working, interior lights are turned on. Now we're ready to go. If you look up in the bow there, you can see you got one of the interior lights on and working. Alrighty, so now that we've got that on, we can go ahead and fire up both the fish finders. To turn those on, you just got the power button in the bottom right hand corner. Okay, so we'll press both those, get them loaded up. I love the way Lund did this display. It's nice because I can have my GPS running off the Helix 7, or I can have it running off the Helix 10 up on top, whatever way I want to do it. And then I can have my fish finding capabilities on either or. So you can see here, this one's the Helix 10 Chirp Mega SI, and then this is the Helix 7 Chirp Mega DI. So what this gives you is mega side imaging, mega down imaging, sonar, and GPS. What this one gives you is mega down imaging, GPS, and sonar. Gonna press exit to get to the main screen. I'm not gonna give a huge run through on these right now. Just again, with the just like the trolling motor, you want to spend some time on the water to fully understand what you're looking at. Just to run through these really quickly, right here you're looking at side imaging, so we're looking 100 feet in each direction off the transducer on the back. Press a view button to change views. Now we're looking at sonar down imaging, sonar side imaging, sonar zoom sonar. Again, you're not really getting the full idea of what we're looking at now because we're not on the water. This is all three, so we've got down imaging, sonar, side imaging. Now we're going to go to side imaging and down imaging. Side imaging, sonar, down imaging. Now I'm going to run through this. We've got GPS map. You can see Quail Lakes, local reservoir to us, Sand Hollow right here. Moving over, you got two GPS maps, and this is really cool because now I can do the sonar, the mapping, and then I could do down imaging down here, however I wanted to do that. The best way to set it up, in my opinion, would be to go and do side imaging up here, mapping, so I'm getting, you know, all my side imaging scanning. I can see where I'm at on the lake. Then if I look down here, I've got sonar and down imaging. I'm literally getting every single view I can right at the helm. So again, to change views, you just press the view button up in the top right to navigate through. If you don't want to go all the way through the cycle and you want to go back to the previous view, you can press the exit button. Will take you back. View button takes you forward. The one thing we found out a lot this year too that customers don't seem to realize is you actually do need to utilize the plus and minus buttons here. They're not just to zoom in when you're on the GPS feature. This is also to change the sensitivity. So if you press the menu button, see right here where it says sensitivity, it's on a scale of 1 to 20 and it's at 10. If you press this plus button, I just pressed it 3 times, press the 4 times. If you press the menu button, now the sensitivity is at 14. Depending on the depth, depending on the clarity of the water you're in, there's a lot of different factors that play into that, but you do need to adjust the sensitivity while you're on the water. Going through the rest of the dash, this is our aerator, so this is gonna be for the live well. So if you press this forward, that's auto, so it's gonna automatically fill and recirculate. If you go down, it's manual. Manual is just gonna fill until you shut it off. The bilge pump is right here. Go ahead and flip that on. It's on an auto float as well, so if it ever automatically kicks on, you're taking in water somehow. Could be from bad weather, big waves, or you could have a water leak. Fortunately, we're looking at a Lund, so doubtful it's gonna be a water leak. Navigation light switch, if you press it forward, it's going to turn on the green and red lights in the bow as well as the white light on the transom. Neutral is off, down is just the white light on the transom. Again, interior lights, we already showed you that, and then the horn, you already heard that sound off. You've got two ignition switches. The one to the left of the master power is for the big 250 Pro XS. This one right here, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but that is going to be for your 15 horsepower kicker. So you can start both engines from the helm, you can steer both engines from the helm, and then if you notice on the right hand side, we've got control boxes for both. Front control box is for the 250, rear control box is for the 15 horsepower kicker. Of course, you always want to make sure the run switch is up on both motors to fire them up. You can trim them up and down from the control box, up and down on the kicker motor as well, so you shouldn't have to really leave this captain's chair for anything. I mean, you've got your fish finding here, your controls for both motors, and then you could easily operate the Ulterra from here, so there's really no need to even get up from your seat. Last thing on the helm, it does have the upgraded Rockford Fosgate stereo system in it. This stereo is Bluetooth, USB, auxiliary, and then of course AM FM radio. Right now we're using the head unit USB port to charge our remote for the Ulterra. The one thing I want to say with that is if the stereo isn't on and you're plugged into this USB port right here, there is no power supplied, so you've got to turn your stereo on if you want to use this to charge your phone or charge your trolling motor handheld controller. Now we're going to get in the cockpit and go through everything else. All right, now that we've given you an overview on the outside of the boat and all the electronics, I just kind of want to show you guys what's in the cockpit for you guys looking at getting into a new Tyee Magnum. So up here we've got a lockable glove box, nice deep glove box with tons of storage inside of it. We ordered this one with two pilot's chairs. They've got the air ride pedestals. You can slide them forward, swivel them 360 degrees, and raise and lower them with the air ride. Back here we've got two Pro Ride pedestal chairs with air ride pedestals in them as well. To remove these, you simply just need to lift up on the chair itself. Pedestal comes out with it. You can relocate it wherever you need, or if you just want to get it out of the cockpit to have some more room for fishing, you can do that as well. One of my favorite things about the Magnum is the in-floor storage that they do have. You can find this on all the Tyee models, but if you go with the traditional Tyee, it's a little bit deeper, so you can put wakeboards and skis and whatnot in there, but this one gives you additional rod storage, you know, so you can put rods in the center locker and on port and starboard side compartments. Again, with all their other storage compartments, it's on a gas shock, so it holds itself open for you, and it is fully locking, so you can put your rods in there, lock it up, and not worry about anyone running off with them. This other compartment in the floor here is going to be your battery location. So we've got two batteries in the boat, one for the big motor, one for the 15 horsepower, and also runs the electronics. The battery charger for the rear two batteries is also located in there as well. Like you mentioned earlier, you do have port and starboard side locking rod storage as well, so you can fit, you know, four more rods on that side. Open this up, you can do 4 more rods on that side, and that's all fully locking, so you don't have to worry about your tackle getting stolen. One other cool feature I like, you do have this large platform in the back that you can, you know, dress your fish, hook your lures up, and then under it you've got your live well. It does have an LED light inside. To use the live well, the one thing you need to know is this is your water inlet spigot here. So the more water you want to come in, you want to open this up further, and then you can turn on the switch on the dash to have water come in. If you have no intentions of using it, you want to turn this all the way counterclockwise, or excuse me, clockwise, to shut the flow so no water can come in. And then you do want to put the plug in right here to allow it to hold water so it doesn't just drain out. And then if you're out, maybe not fishing for the day, you got a boat full of people and you need some extra seats, the Magnum does have this awesome feature with the pull-out seat as well. So you've got 2 more seats, port and starboard side, so you could have, you know, 6 people comfortably sitting in here, no problem. Last thing I want to show you is the washdown. So this is the switch to turn on the pump for the washdown. I don't know if you can hear it running in the video, but it is on. And then right here is where you would actually hook up your washdown hose. So you take and unthread this cap here, hose the thread onto there, take and open up the valve, turn your pump on. Now you got a washdown station, whether you use it for cleaning fish, spraying off the dogs that you bring in the boat, or just spraying off the boat to keep it clean. But a washdown station is definitely nice to have on the boat.
Other than that, that was a full walkthrough. Thanks for watching.